Welcome to the morning update. I'm Erin Ramsey. COVID-19 restrictions have eased in Sydney this morning. 50 people can now gather outdoors and 30 people can gather inside a private home. New South Wales Premier Gladys Berejiklian has defended the advice from health experts.
The risk of community transmission is extremely low at this stage.
Masks are still mandatory, though, on public transport, in places of worship and in beauty salons and hairdressers. Victoria's tough border rules with New South Wales are set to ease today. Premier Daniel Andrews has flagged he hopes there'll be no red zones by the end of today, with Sydney's Cumberland Council set to go orange. Britain says there'll be no interruption to COVID-19 vaccine supplies despite a dispute between AstraZeneca and Europe. The EU claims there'll be a 75% shortfall in supplies by the end of March and wants the company to stop sending vaccines to the UK. Senior British Minister Michael Gove says that won't be happening.
The supplies which have been planned, paid for and scheduled should continue. There will be no interruption to that. I think the right approach to take with our friends in Europe is to make sure that we foster cooperative dialogue.
The federal government has criticised proposed legislation calling for zero carbon emissions by 2050. A parliamentary committee will examine a private member's bill today, which the government claims will lead to more bureaucracy. Independent MP Zali Steggall has put forward the legislation.
We need to move away from climate policy being the subject of political gamesmanship and actually give it the serious debate and the serious consideration it requires.
Victoria Police are still hunting a driver involved in a dramatic incident in the heart of Melbourne's CBD yesterday. A green Mitsubishi sped through the Bourke Street Mall and drove along tram tracks, forcing pedestrians to run for cover. A passenger jumped out after it hit a bollard, while the car was later found dumped in Albert Park. And new figures confirm the impact of COVID-19 on Australian cinemas. Ticket sales were down 70% last year as studios delayed the release of blockbusters, including the new James Bond film. Revenue is already down 35 to 40% this month. To sport, the Australian Medical Association is backing calls for Australian cricketers to be given the COVID vaccine before the test tour of South Africa in March. The AMA says the elderly and frontline workers are the top priority, but there is a case to vaccinate the players after that. The Big Bash League finals begin tonight. The Brisbane Heat at home to the Adelaide Strikers. The winner goes on to play Sydney Thunder on Sunday, while the loser is out. In tennis, the lead-up events for the Australian Open begin today with an exhibition tournament in Adelaide. Today's matches feature Novak Djokovic and Serena Williams. Ash Barty plays Simona Halep tonight. In entertainment news, the trailer has dropped for the final season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
We didn't think anyone would be into watching a show about our crazy family.
We just wanted to tell you in person that we won't be going forward with filming the show anymore.
The reality show has been running for 14 years. The final season will kick off in March. Rita Ora has been accused of paying a restaurant almost 7,000 Australian dollars for her to host a birthday party during the UK lockdown. The singer came under fire after hosting drinks and nibbles with 7 people back in November. A staff member has since spoken out to say that he was paid off. And actor Sacha Baron Cohen has been named the Outstanding Performer of the Year at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival in the US. He's been recognized for his role as Abby Hoffman in the Netflix drama The Trial of the Chicago 7 and for the Borat sequel. Previous winners include Emma Stone, Steve Carell and Kate Blanchett. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcasts team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.